Okay. Let's try this. Let's see what we get here. Toss it. Yeah. Do a little post share. Oh, that's right. Can't share anything here at the moment. Groups. Take a peek in that real quick. Got nobody showing up yet. That one right. Toss one in there. Take a look at that. Right. Okay. Going about 5 minutes already. Let's see what we got going on here. So I'm going to take a look. So I have not decked with this thing in a bit. Nor not quite figured out Panhard setup. It's right there. Okay. Couple things first, I need to refill my coffee because it's cold. Okay, cat's in. Coffee's refilled and warm. Okay. One last thing here before I get going. Oh, 7, 8 minutes already. I damn near may as well restart. That's all right. This will work. So I'm gonna put this BowHouse piece in the axe rig. And I've had problems with this thing before, so I'm gonna redo that and get the steering servo worked up a little better. Go ahead and pop that puppy off for now. That's on there pretty good. It feels like it. That all needs to get tightened up. We can take care of that easy enough. One minute. Pretty loose overall. Shove it all. Desk back up. Move this over so I don't spill it anymore. Bouncing and wiggling and dripping already. Loctite on this and get it in there nice. Redo that whole thing. She's just a little too loose on there. Maybe I'll put that other arm on. She's in there, that's out. But I might have to redo those. So let's see what's the best way probably to do that. Just want to pop that sucker right on out of there. And looking like my easiest thing to do. I do like what RedCat did with this in the axle setup. They made the axles the same front and rear. You just flip them around and then turn around, and your outer parts are the difference. As you can see, I've got some brass on here, Trio C hubs, inner and outer covers, and then rear inner covers. But this Panhard bar has always been a little bit of a whack thing on this thing, the way it was set up and designed. In BowHouse RC, come up with a new mount. I'm not quite sure where it goes in there. It's going to go in there right next, right in that piece there. No. Can't go in there. I may need to, let me see if they've got anything on their website. See if they've got anything on the installation piece. There we go. Kind of a picture of it. Okay. There's a couple better pics. So it's going to mount just like that, eh? On the outside, right next to the other piece. Okay, actually that might not be too bad. It's a good chance to be able to do most of that. Oh, this is the one that's messed up a little bit on me. I had the glue on. That's okay. So, this thing, other than got these KXY sliders and the Trio let's see, I got the Trio bottom cap, brass caps and adjusters, the brass C-hub and inside brass and inner housing cover. I got stock housing covers on the front, same thing on the back, the inside housing covers, and then the stock plastic housing covers on the outside. The inners are the brass. Add a little bit of that lower weight, counter some of that high weight on the body. And then a KYX front brass pumpkin housing, trying to add some weight. This RC four-wheel drive piece here, drag link, aftermarket servo horn, stock servo horn wasn't cutting it quite, and then I wired it with lights. Other than that, it's pretty much all stock foams. They broke down real well. They were really hard when I first got this in the spring last year. It was still fairly cold. those foams got really, really firm. Good for mud and trail, but not that great for rocking. But once they broke down, they really broke down. I mean, they're not disintegrated, but they broke down into a nice, supple foam where they kind of rock and grab everything pretty well. Been thinking about putting different foams in there, but after these flopped around, they did pretty good. I got some different ones, but they're 2.2s, but I might be able to do some trimming and make some work. But I think I'm just going to try it, get a different set of rims and tires, just because they could use it. So let's see. I don't know if that's the right one. Looks like it. Let's see if we can get this puppy out. Actually, I got a ball that size. I think one of these little ball wrenches I got will fit that. Maybe not. It might be too small. Looks like it's going to be too small for even these balls that I've got. I bet get some more ball wrenches here. Those would help. Ain't gonna work that great. I'll have to bump her out with the Allen here. Take her slow. And you might be able to get in there with this one though. No, can't get in there that great with this one either. Do it the hard way. But yeah, this Panhard bar isn't quite set in the right spot with the steering drag link. I am half tempted to buy a SSD SCX-10-2 setup, steering links, the titaniums, because it's for the SCX-10-2, they've got the bent drag link, and I've got that on my other SSD kit. Obviously, comes with that, and that works out really well. And I've often looked at that and thought, man, that S-curve drag link from the servo would probably work so much better than the straight one that was on here, or even this RC four-wheel drive extender, which has bent on me half a dozen times, a couple times anyway. It's not half a dozen yet, but at least 3 or 4. Definitely some ball ends. And then probably not, probably even gonna get worse. Put this on the BowHouse and then attach it. And it just goes over top of this thing. Looks like they give you a new couple screws in case you need. I don't know that I'll need the one, but I don't know if I'll need the other. Come on now. It's a slow going thing here, not having my ball wrenches to get in there with. Grab a hold of it enough just to get it to even turn a little bit with that. We're pain. 40. So hope everybody's been doing all right, keeping up with what's happening around the country. I know everybody's been keeping up with what's happening around the gas pumps. I enjoy how people say, oh, you know, under the last 4 years, you couldn't hear the wind blow without it being the fault of the administration. Everything that happened was the fault of the current administration up until this last election. And now all of a sudden, nothing is the fault of the administration. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got problems. Serious problems that we need to deal with. And too many men that are in the world of RC are beta males. I don't know when all the betas got into RC, but it's been a bit perplexing because they don't want to talk about politics. Can't do that, man. That makes RC no fun. But then they don't, you know, say a damn thing as the government is turning around and forcing businesses closed, mask mandates coming back for the school year. I'd tell you a COVID joke, but there's a 99.996% chance or 96% chance you won't get it. Haha. Okay. 3 longer screws. I'll give you another longer screw and a new swivel ball to go in there, but I don't know that we'll need it. It seems like that should screw right into this, unless that's a different size, so I guess that's possible. It's a piece of Durlin, okay. I was thinking it was something different. Now, I guess the biggest question is, let me come back over to their deal and see what they've got. Interesting. So here, install shock at mount behind C-hub. Oh, they got you doing a little bit of trimming too. Why that is? Oh, that's on the other side. I'll take a look at what's going on there. Install shock at mount behind C-hub. That's where it's installed anyways. I got the trio set up on there. Doing some trimming on the axle here. Actually over here. I don't have to worry about that too much. I'll deal with that side in a minute. They do have this in the bottom. We're in the upper hole here. So I will go ahead and put that in there. I'll mount this in. It does have 2 different holes here, and put it in both, upper, lower. See, that's going to drop it down farther. slides through. Okay. Okay, it's interesting what they're doing. Back to just the picture of the unit. Real. Hey, what's going on? Yeah, sure, man. I'm doing a little bit of video right now, but yeah, I'm here. Right on. We'll talk to you about. Bye. All right. Let's see. So I do that there, and then mount this in here. Go. Oh. I gotta mount that on the other side first. Because that's going to push it way back. Okay. It's on the wrong side. Which means I got to pop that around. Do this real quick. Make it easier that way. So let's go on like that. Right? Yep. Goes on like that. That has to go the other way. I'll use just the pliers and slip this back in. It's not very long. I go get a longer one in there. Now this has to go on this side. Nice and tight. This sure isn't all that long. Same. Is that good? That's better. And that is, you know, I did swap that out. Oh yeah, that is the other thing. I did the trio aluminum mounts too. Shock or link mounts. want to use that. Wrong stuff, Batman. That's red. Wrong shit, Batman. Now, wrong side now on this. Just there. Wish I knew where my other glasses were at. Okay. This is going into plastic, so no lock tight. Okay, I see what's happening here. What's up with that? That thing pulled over that far? Wow, that's not right. That's, I see what it's, oh, that's, well, that's kind of shitty. Oh, it's not on right. That's the problem. So that ain't right. I got it on backwards. I had it right the first time. Burp, burp. Alright, so it's got to come out of here. So what in the heck? Derp. There. Now let's try that. Got a feeling it's gonna go in there a bit better. Everything will fit a bit better. Now let's take a peek at that. Right, you there, you there. Now let's take a little look at it here. What's happening now is that stock piece just needs to get cut up out of there. Redo the shocks, I think. That one seems to be sloppy. So let me go ahead and because I had to do this to both, eh? Because I haven't gone through this thing in about 8 months. Just been running the piss out of it. No, I haven't actually ran it much. Much this year. Some, but not a hell of a lot. There. Let's go ahead and get this thing working. Set up. I want to get her fired up and turn back on. That's tight. Be a little tighter, but just to get things centered. Back and forth, but not much. Yeah, this thing's held up pretty darn good. I think I need some better give me a little bit more, curved out piece. I wonder how that piece. That's probably too wide for this thing. Well, maybe not. Definitely, yeah, definitely way too wide. But yeah, I need a better piece around here. I'm not using the stock steering position. How's everything else going? Is one of the shitty things about this design, though, is moving these shock. Getting them out is a real pain in the ass. Let's go through from that side. Do I actually have to take those off? I guess I shouldn't have to. But I might. Pop this out and take a peek. Hopefully I don't, but I'm alright. Okay, I don't need that up anymore because she's installed. It's not big. I don't remember how in the hell this thing come apart, so. If I'm going to use this way, I'll try. I'll take this thing apart, but I might have to. Got to get into the shocks. Do that. Go for the full pull. It's going to be too small. Here, what we can come up with. Scummy.
Not much. I had a stick go through between my middle toe or my little toe and my other one, right through skin. So my foot's a little bit tender today. So I've been walking gentle on it. Because it hurts. Went right through the flesh too.
It only hurts till stuff.
That's gonna heal though.
So that is in there. That does go through there. Exactly how?
What am I calling?
So I thought. Don't know. Somebody heard it.
Oh, it's a commercial. Sounds like it was radio.
Yeah, it did. I'm still recording, just so you know, too.
Oh,
I ain't worried about it. Just so you know.
it's not Peeps.
Okay, so I see where it's at. Got it. It's way up there. Okay. That's why I couldn't find it. Alright. Well, that makes it a little bit easier. At least I ain't got to tear this shit apart for the most part. So, these can go right back in there. And it's not look like it was for a minute.
Did you hear about in Haiti, the big earthquake?
Mm-mm.
200 some people died. Maybe like
You get a
200 some
few
people.
of them in Haiti. It's fairly
It's pretty
unstable
bad.
area.
Those people basically live in like boxes anyways, they're shelters.
Okay, can I get into that thing though?
And then
That's
there
gonna
was
be the
that
question.
fire that happened in Flint. That was Don's cousins and stuff that died in that.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
That's a bummer. It's sad to hear.
The kids made it out, but the grown-ups died.
That's rough on the kids.
Yep.
That shall be rough on the kids, no doubt. That's a hell of a way to go.
I don't know if they're
And most
kids,
people die of
teenagers,
smoke
so-
inhalation before they die of burns, but that's still a hell of a way to go.
Oh yeah, could imagine. And I thought our power going out was bad.
Yeah, yeah. Minor in comparison, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Life's always got a perspective that you don't quite expect.
It's happened to
Tell it.
anybody though.
Till it throws it in your face.
You could be sleeping and the fire starts, you wouldn't even know it.
Yeah, pretty much. I didn't think that was something. I didn't see that sucker way down, gone up there. Can I get it out? Yes. Okay. Good deal. So that means I gotta tear it down completely, but damn near. Yeah, so brush this off real quick here. What do I do with my excuse me. Everything should be good and creased. Take a look at the case here. All looks good. Cover's in nice shape. Now, got that shock off. And it's kind of a bitch to deal with though, but get myself a better these two, put them there.
Was this thing like a cat flame?
Yeah, cat scratch. Supposed to be. Speaking of cat scratch, I should probably go get you some food, shouldn't we, hon?
Who's that little dick for? Here.
Hell yeah, motherfucker.
Here. Whatever. If I had that laser pointer, you'd love me.
Kitty wants those toes. There. Yes, I know you want some food. Don't you? It's dinner time. Yes, it's dinner time. You hungry? Hungry? Get your food. Is that what you want, some food? Just quit saying it and start making it, jackass. Isn't that right, Katie? Isn't that right, Kitty? Soft. Ooh. Go backwards there.
Looks different.
Mirrored.
On there, like going, looks like you're going totally different area.
Yeah, do that to pop those out. That's kind of a bitch. Kind of a little bit of work to do the shocks on these things. I knew it was something funky. Couldn't quite remember what.
How many people you got live watching?
Ain't nobody really watching. Okay. Now I can do those. Where's the other one? Back in there and show you. What's the place for it? Can't do anything else with it.
Beers taste totally different after I had one for like 5 days.
Yeah.
At least it ain't too hot out, so it's nice.
Yeah, not a bad day out.
Even though our weather really isn't
That. Okay,
My uncle
clean
said
these.
the other day in Houston it was 100, 103, 104 degrees with 90% humidity.
Yup. She tad's warm.
No, it don't bother me. I've been down there many times when it's been
Humidity ain't, their humidity ain't as bad. Of course, when it's getting into the 80s and 90s.
That one year I went there, it was probably about 10. It was like 110 degrees, something like that, with 100% humidity. It was bad. Yeah,
pretty hot. And
like you had have water to drink, or you just felt like you were gonna pass out.
Yep.
And then the atmosphere is different, so it messes with your allergies and stuff.
Not so much the atmosphere, it's just different pollens. Yeah, different pollens, different temperature, different humidity levels. Yeah, Texas is quite a bit different than Michigan in that respect.
October when I go there, it'll still pretty warm. So Rob said. Said that you don't start getting like really bad until November. It's a little bit cooler.
Yeah, really bad for Rob. It is a little bit cooler. Really bad for Rob as far as cold is when we're pretty.
I don't know. He came down here and it was like 55. And he was like,
all right.
was actually supposed to be born in Texas.
Well, they both do. Sounds like I might have a little bit of. Damn, not much though.
Is that shots?
Yeah. I don't feel like there's no empty points. This damn thing's popping up all the time.
Mom's day. What kind of oil do I use on my car? I'm like, it tells you right on your cap thing what you want to
Typically,
take.
Typically it should.
She has like a weird dipstick little thing. It's like has like 4 little boxes that the oil goes on.
Let's tell you on that side.
Not a bad car for 11 G's though.
Right.
It's got CD player, Bluetooth, XM. The CD player is kind of weird. And my mom's like, that ain't a CD player. I'm like, yeah, it is. They just make it weird looking now.
Don't worry about it then. Oh, Jesus, I still don't feel that bad.
Pardon me.
I'll leave them as they were, just throw them back together. Felt like they're pretty schwacky, but they really weren't.
Wow, 3 cigarettes, 4 cigarettes. Nice. Yeah, I didn't even take it back on my own car. I was like, yeah, I'll take it back. I'll go with that one. You don't have them, you won't smoke them.
That's right. Can't smoke what you ain't got.
And if I got desperate, all I got to do is take back my bottles and got enough of them. It was weird. Okay, the beers in the freezer and at the dollar store are cheaper than the same ones that are not in the freezer. They're sitting out. I'm like, because they put them in the freezer, so they charge you more.
No, they're cold.
That's why.
Gotta pay for that cooler.
Oh, okay.
That's yeah. So if they're in the cooler, they will charge more because you're paying for that. They're paying for that cooler.
So I just got the not 15 pack. I was gonna get a 15 pack, but I got like 8 beers. It was only 10 out the door for 8 beers. It wasn't bad.
Nope, not when you got a freezer you can chuck them into.
Yep. So I paid 30 cents less because I got still in my deep freezer. We're supposed to be getting if we get that tax money back, or not tax money, but for all state, Brett's gonna get us a refrigerator. He's like, Mike, how the hell are we gonna pay for it? So I think he's gonna put some money in towards it.
Right.
He ain't doing it for me, he's doing it for his dad or whatever. Yeah, the lady messed it up, and then they did it again. They finally just told us today it'll be about 5 good business days. But I got my $200 back I put in gas in the generator.
That's always helpful.
Well, my grandpa's gonna give it back to me anyways, but I do pay bills there, so. Pay like, I pay more in bills than he does actually. But it's better than living in town.
Right?
Besides our well situation, so it's.
That should go the other way.
But if we do get that out, we'll at least be well be dug and won't have to worry about water problems.
Right?
Yeah, I guess it's only dug like 12 feet or some shit like that.
Yeah, it's shallow well.
Yeah, and that's why I want the strong pressure.
Well, you're only going to get so much pressure out of a pump. 20, 40, 30, 50, or 40, 60
We
on
get
your pressure
nearly
switch.
not even close to what you get out of your pump though.
Yeah,
We can't even use the hose. It won't even work that long. And it shuts. It like goes down.
yeah, if it's running out, then that's a different situation. Sure.
But it costs money to dig those fucking things. So
Yep, they do.
okay, they
Grand.
cost us. They paid $2,000. We're still let us do a thing till we got the money. The people put up the pole, so they helped out. But the only way we got that is because Brent's ex-father-in-law knew the guy.
Yes, I know, honey. You're hungry.
Where's my effing food? Oh, beat up your chair now. That thing's old. Oh, how much more years that chair has on it? That don't look like too many. Man, that's like the smallest crescent wrench. Jeez, thread her all the way fucking through. That little fucking thing. Yeah, I got this nice glass from the dollar store. It's really made. It's glass. Heavy. It's made really good. $1.
Nice.
I got it and it's like a beer mug thing. Pour beer in.
Mm-hmm.
I could freeze one.
This one.
No. That's what I like about pop. Beer actually calms down the bubbles. I got a big lighter for $1.69. Not bad. Got myself some new papers and a little roller.
These are nice and tight. Excuse me, goodness.
There's a little sound effects for your video.
Right. So I call him Cory Booker. Or what was his name? Hey, looks like my YouTube sponsor or censor finally got here. Censor, most likely. Let's see, where do I want to put these things?
Raging so bad that you can cut you off work.
Somebody joined. How's it going? Don't know when you got here. Not been paying attention to the video that much. Had to check my shocks. They were looking a little whack. Dang. I don't like the way that thing sits. That needs another. That's gonna need something else in there. I might just have to drill another hole in there. Unless there's one I can. Maybe I can get one down that way, but I don't think so. Not real fun, that part sitting in there like that. Not bad, I guess, but I'm just gonna fluctuate around a tad. Is that where I want those things? I don't think I want them that low. Well, in the front, it might.
Same spot.
Pretty much. It's all in the same spot, too. The front, it might not be too bad. Push it up a little more. Not quite yet. Let's go in there. Okay. Flip that. Get that box. It's a little longer than it needs to be. I should have a slightly shorter one, but I don't think I'm going to have one that's short enough. Long enough. That's what it is. Okay. It's still kind of messed up. One of the bad things about their front end setup. Damn, that is just terribly done. And I get it, they make clearance, but that is terribly done.
So it was a pretty put together one.
Yeah. It's not, but it's not about the assembly, it's about the design. That helps a little bit, but boy, not much. Not much. That thing really needs to drop down. Get out of that way. But it can't. But it can't. No matter what, this thing's gonna have a bias to that side. No, that will just shove it over and it will just go farther that way then. Just go farther that way, and that's not what I want. No, can't change that. That's now without going to 4-link. And you won't be able to 4-link because of the design. So that's a clusterfuck you guys got there going. I wonder how I can fix that bugger. It's even going to get worse with those shocks hanging that low, so it's got to go back up, although I'll put it to the back and at least change the angle a tad. little different angle. And
Can you put like different shocks on it?
yeah, I can, but it's not the shocks that's the problem. I'll show you in a sec here. And anybody else who ever comes and watches the video, I'll show them too.
3 points.
Woohoo!
About the only thing I know about basketball, 2 points, 3 points. So much I watch it.
Still mount a little wiggling in wires, but I can still mount a servo up there. Have one. Alright, so what's happening with this? If you come here, take a look real quick. This thing here, pad. See how this has 4 wires? And now watch what happens when I push it down. See how it stays nice and square? You know, it stays pretty straight other than just back and forth, but it doesn't do any of this side to side. It's just up and down, right? Watch the front. I push it down.
Yeah, I can see that.
See how it's kind of going that way? It's because of this bar here. This does, it has 3 links. It doesn't have 4. And they got rid of the 4th to make room for this stuff in the transmission and stuff.
See why.
And this is called a Panhard bar. Now, typically a Panhard bar, because it's a hard bar and it's got 2 mounting points, it's going to arc when it swings, right? When you usually get a Panhard bar set up, it's mounted so it's like this. So as the axle comes up, it'll move inward a little bit. And then when it's the right height, it levels out. And then when the axle goes down, it'll arc down. It'll shift that axle. So this thing should be, you know, running straight across and then up and down on this pivot point back here as the axle moves, with level being out. But because this thing's at a big angle, they don't, it's not, it's too much of an angle. And then there's all the arc is one way. So when it's fully compressed is about when it's even. And then when you let down it only arcs to one direction. So no matter what, the axle, it should kind of back and forth like this, right? As it's up and down in the compression, it should swing. But this one's only going one way because all the arc's one way. So looking at this, I don't know.
That's why I was asking the questions. I didn't know.
Well, actually, you know, if this side was higher, I mean, it would be almost a half an inch higher. What would that do? You could use a straight bar. It would still do the same. It would still do the same. This one would have to come down. This one would really have to go down. This one would really have to come up. And then you really have to have a funky ass Panhard bar. Yeah, it ain't gonna get any better than what it is.
I guess she's as is.
Yep, pretty much. Does the shocks? Yeah, I guess it was just the weight of the titer doing that. Okay. Yep, pretty much. So I was hoping I'd be able to fix that. Yeah, I can put that on with this shit. I was hoping that helps this BowHouse piece. It does make the setup a little bit more doable, not much. It really doesn't change anything for that little bit of difference. It helps a smidge, and it's a small smidge because the arc's all one way. So there really ain't much you can do about that. Is what it is.
It does have pretty good shocks in it though. They went right down some fire on it.
Yeah, I gotta stiffen them up, tighten up the springs a tad. Taking them back a little bit will help change that angle just a smidge. Okay, get those good and tight. Some E6000 because the little screw pieces broke. Put a dab of that on. Come on, get in there. Piece out of here. Oh crap. Give run another little dab about what's in there. That back here. Okay. Now all we need to do is fire it up. Reset the steering servo. And she should be pretty decent to go, although I am gonna say redo this. Add some spring tension on these shots because they're not. They need some adjustment, some rebounds, yeah.
Woo! Oh shit.
You gotta make that shit a little bit easier.
Fucking stinky.
Try that.
Woo!
We'll see how that goes. Adjust these shots down some.
Some Johnsonberry.
Right.
When I first saw it, I thought it said Goodsberry.
Yeah, I was hoping to get a little bit more out of that BowHouse, but I wasn't expecting a lot because I did know that thing's in a rough shape. Go in there a little more, maybe. Knitted bitty.
Damn, these ducks are getting bigger every time I flip through those things.
Pretty much.
They're kind of like that cucumber last night on our garden. It was like maybe 2 inches, and now it's like fucking almost a full cucumber. Yeah, our tree then one tree fell in our garden and it killed the plants. Plants made it through it. That probably
Missed most of them, eh?
No, it hit them, but it didn't. The plants were so strong it didn't break them at all.
That's a bonus.
Grandpa is mostly tomatoes. I'm not a big tomatoes fan, so he eats them. As far as I get in tomatoes is stewed tomatoes, like in a chili or something, or a goulash. Like
Bacon lettuce tomato sandwich.
No, I just don't like regular tomatoes without them being something done with them.
I so need some new tools. These things are kind of junky. Well, that set's a little almost too
I got
high
some
there
nice
now.
tools at the garage sale for $6.
Knock it down some here now.
It's cool because they're magnetized.
I still think that's going to be. It's not that damn bad though. It's too high on the chassis for I want it a little lower. It's already too damn heavy.
The ones in the front look a hell of a lot higher than the ones in the back. Different to the house there.
Not close, but yeah, I'm a little different. Yeah. Yep, still doing video. You're right. Nobody gonna see nothing but your feet.
You have one Rhode Island Red that's stunted or something. That or he didn't, or he's not a part of that, or the other two.
He's a little bit smaller, yeah.
He's like
One's
grunty and everything,
still a little smaller.
but he's still spastic.
He'll be the
And
strongest
he's like the
one when
loudest
he's
one
older.
too.
Pretty
Like
much,
three.
right. It'll probably be the rooster.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking
The
too.
one
Like,
that you like.
his tail feathers look awful, but he's like visibly smaller than the other two.
Yeah, he is smaller. I noticed that.
But they're also ahead.
I noticed that when I got him too.
They
He'll
got
probably be bigger.
So
than
I'm thinking that's different batch,
Different
different
clutch.
eggs. Yeah, different clutch.
breed of-
So because he is significantly smaller in comparison to and maturity wise.
Sometimes little
Pretty
things
close.
end up being grown to be big things.
It's pretty close.
Shit, I was like 8-pound baby, and I only weigh like 130 pounds. So I was about 30.
All right, so the next best thing. Where are these? Got my red video.
Excuse me.
Well, that's nice.
Ain't it?
Do you have an empty can over there you want me to take for you? Wait.
No.
You're still working on a load?
Let me see.
Yeah.
Okay.
I drink hop of beer so I don't give me a like heartburn and shit.
And you're how old? Like 34? 33?
35. So.
That's about the age that my heartburn started kicking in. I mean,
No, it's because my allergy. Even taking medicine, my allergies are just terrible right now.
you know, see, I refuse this year. 2 Sudafed, that's all I take this year. Because if I don't,
All my pills.
yeah, I figure I've never not treated it really, so if I don't treat it, maybe it'll just kind
That's
of
the only pills I'll
take
take
care of
is
itself.
allergy medicine. I won't take any other pills. It's because I need allergy medicine. If not, I'm miserable.
I have had ear problems my whole life, and even with the allergy medicine, it doesn't.
Yeah, I've probably had like 20 ear infections in my life.
I've had the tubes put in my ears.
But I never went and got them done, which I should
I
have.
had my tonsils taken out at
that
4
time. Or one of them older, I should say.
That sucks, by the way. Seriously, don't recommend it.
Oh no, I knocked all my teeth out when I was 10. They got their degree burn on my stomach from the curling iron. I've had a lot of trauma. And then I had a nail go through my foot like 2 years after that. I was a spastic kid.
Well, remember on that, they're big guys.
I used to hide on my mom in the stores. They used to shut down wires because I'd hide on her.
Well, you little dick.
I don't remember. So, like I said, that's why I don't have real like pills, because then they lose my memory and shit.
Sounds like whiskey.
That's what they
Here,
put in.
try this. It'll
all
make you
these
feel
liquids.
better. No, it won't. It's a pharmaceutical product. Thank you, now.
Ritalin was the worst. That was bad shit on it. That was like tranquilizer
Better?
shit in
No.
it.
Still saying they're low.
You had that on the charger. That was actually really annoying.
Can be.
Woo.
Oh, that's what that other one was.
See this? Nice one. I swear you guys should a little bit more. Sure you can smell that.
First time those things ever gotten that low was, hey, warning, man.
My headphones had them for 4 months. Yep, the other day was the first time they went low since I've had them. And I use them constantly. This shit comes right out.
Chicken up, wow! Booty, booty.
All right, turn that one. No, I'm joking. Didn't pay attention when I noticed it. Talking about the cat, she probably wants her food that her dad was supposed to give her.
Oh, is that why she's in there like growling like a bear? Probably. Looking out the window going, if I could just get out, that could be my dinner.
No, she ain't like that, but she wants some food, I'm sure.
She's doing the classic sit there and with mouth open, you know, watching birds.
So if I was a cat, I would have had those chickens already.
She walks right by him. She don't care about those chickens. She walks right by them.
My mom thought her dog was going to eat her chickens. She thought you were going to be all mad.
I think she wants to go out because
No, she does. She
She
does, but she wants. She hasn't been fed
She's
either.
gonna go find piss on you. I'll just
Nope.
my dry food. That's funny. She's like, really?
Hey, sweetie, how you doing? Good deal. Excellent. Right.
What was that sound?
Just give her a remote from that car.
Right. Good deal. Cool. What's that? Okay. Yep. Yep. Right. Uh, Well, as I understand it, I mean, there's nothing in the medical law, and they've not changed the medical law yet. Well, yeah, right. Well, that's what I'm saying. There's nothing in the legislation that says you can't have 2 places, 10 places, 12 places, 1 place under medical. As long as it's all under medical and all your, yeah, exactly. As long as it's all locked, secured. Correct. As long as it's all secure, you could have, and technically, well, right, but technically, the way the courts have ruled in some cases, you're almost smarter if you're doing a medical grow to be able to have individual areas for 12 plants each, so to speak. Be- well, no, they don't want you to. Well, they don't want you. uh, Let me explain, hon. No, let me explain. No, it's nothing about. Okay, I mean, I think it's about dead. Okay, hang on a second. Let me.
Yeah.
I gotta do something here and shut this thing off.
I'll go look in the see if I can-
Right. Yeah, yeah. Because the way the law is written, it doesn't. I mean, the law is vague. It says 12 plants per patient. Blah blah blah. But the way the courts have ruled, this is where I was getting to. Is, well,
What the fuck you call that? Oh yeah, he's still on video. He's on a phone call right now. Go back to y'all shortly.
Your brewery had better only have access to their 12 plants. Because if they've got, well, right. I know that. I know that. But what I'm getting to is just the details of what they've said. So what they say is you got one area with 60 plants in it, and you take a single patient in there who can only have access to 12 plants, and you get arrested at that time, there may be problems with that patient had access to more than their 12 plants. Patient can only have access to their 12. So, they're not letting patients in. Well, you don't have to take any of that. Nothing says you have to record it. Yeah, no, there's nothing says. Yeah, nothing says you have to record anything under medical law. If you're a business and you're selling medical license, then you got to record. But if you're doesn't have to record it. The only thing caregiver wants, right? The only thing caregiver wants to be aware of that everything lots secure. And if you are taking patients into that area, they can that patient that you have can only have access to their secure plants. You can't take them into a room, a wall, a fence, right? And that's because this is what come out of down in Grand Rapids. The guy had a place where he had a big fenced-in area and had different areas, but a patient had access to one of the areas. There was more than that patient's allowable plants. So yeah, there was some question. Silly, buddy, you're not right. And if he's a, if he, well, if he's a patient, to some extent, but true, but if there's never a problem, right? But if there's ever a problem, say cops, you guys are gone. Cops come out. He's out there watering, and they arrest him because whatever the situation is. At the end of the day, if he's only a patient, he's supposed to have access to 12 plants. So there could be a problem there. Your smartest bet is if you're gonna take off and have somebody come water, have that be another caregiver. Because they've already authorized caregiver to caregiver transfers. Now there still could be a problem. Let me read a little bit more about. Yes. 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 Yep. Like, well, like I said, yes, you can, but again, there's some ins and outs. As two different caregivers with, say, 5 patients and full loads at 60 plants each. No, right, but no, right. Well, and that's why I'm right, and that's what I'm trying to say. Yep, that's what I'm trying to let you know. So if you do that and you both become caregivers, you as a caregiver can only have access to your patient's 60 plants. So you can't go in and water Chad's 60 plants, and Chad can't come in and water your 60 plants because that would technically be a foul of the law. Well, You got to remember all this stuff. All this stuff has what you. Yeah, but you got to remember all this stuff has to boil down technically with a date with a dance. Meaning you gotta have a dance with a badge, and somebody's gotta be with a badge, or they gotta have recording, or they gotta have somehow it's gotta be documented, or they gotta visually see it. Right. That gets a little difference, but the biggest thing, like I said, the biggest thing you got to worry about is dates with the badge, because those are when the shit hits the fan, obviously. So, well, any doesn't badge. A badge is a badge. So right. So, but at the end of the day, that's when if you're both caregivers and you're in watering Chad's plants and you get raided, there may be an issue there. But there's this whole husband and wife stuff, and it's still kind of gray area. But right, but right, but yeah, but the I know, but the law wouldn't care about that at the numbers. It would they hold people the numbers. So if you're a caregiver and you got a full load, and Chad's a caregiver and he's got a full load, yes, right. So you gotta all that's because well just because there hasn't been no real clear well yeah there hasn't been no real clear ruling on that, so they could call a cutting a clone. Um, well, exactly. You got to have that date. Yeah, you got to have that date. Right, but you. Hmm. No, not really. But there's not been a lot of issue with that. Not been a lot of push on that. Yeah, yeah, but yeah, there's nothing that a lot of people. A lot of people have to do it. So basically, if you're still following the medical law, just ignore the recreational law because they're two different laws. Be aware of it. Be aware of it, but you're not operating underneath it. So those laws don't really affect you at all. Yep. So make yep. Keep all of that stuff 100%. Right. Still better. Yeah. Still better safe than sorry. Right. Yep. Right. But yeah, that's all you got to do is right. Right. Yeah, they good. Yeah, the good seeds. I got a few myself. if you get, I mean, if you get, but yeah, you get some, yeah, glue's good. But yeah, you get good seeds and you get, good plants. Those seeds, they, well, yeah. Yeah, right. Well, you won't, you don't get a caregiver card being your own patient. You actually have to have a different patient. That's the only way you get a caregiver card is another patient has to name you. Yeah, 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 you're just a, you're just a patient. Yeah, no, I'm a patient. Simply, and I grow my own. Now, you can say I am my own caregiver, but I don't have any caregiver rights because nobody need me as their caregiver, so I'm only a patient. So you could grow your own. So what you guys could do is you could have two, set up like this, as an example. Jack could have a caregiver set up, and he's got a 5-patient load, and he's a patient himself, right? So he's got his 5 patients, which is 60 plants, and his 12 plants for his own. That gives him the 72 limit. You can do your own. 60 plus his 12 is the 72. So, right. But you're not one of his patients. He has 5 separate patients plus himself. You become your own patient. You have your own 12 plant grow. You deal with your own 12 plant grow that your church can't deal with it legally. But you can have your 12 plants on your medical, your own grow. And then Jack can have his caregiver and his 12 plants with his caregiver stuff under his other thing. So you'd actually be able to, he could get 72 and you would have 12. Right. You would have 72, you would have your 12, but never shall the two ever meet. He can't go into yours, you can't go into his, blah, blah, blah. But that is workable, but it would make some prosecutors want to push that situation and try to make examples because not every case has been tried. So they're going to find these unique situations, say, oh, they're trying to break the law. Right. So at that point, they still say they're trying to break the law.
Fucking law, bro.
Right. So then what I'm into, honey, is you don't have, you're just one of Chad's 12 patients and he's got the one deal with 72 plants because he's a patient too. They're less likely to try to push anything because you're under the numbers of the limited law. You're not looking like you're trying to do something different. So there's no reason for them to look for something. So if you have your 12 plants and he does it, now they have some of that looks a little unusual. And that's how they do it. Most people are taking plea deals because they don't want to fight this shit. They ain't got the money to fight this shit. They ain't got the 4 years to fight this shit and the $300,000. So. Yep. Absolutely. But yeah, that's the smartest probably way to do it, sweetie. Keep yourself at least safe.
It's almost suck my dick.
So moving your bishop out, you got to remember that person that you're playing against has 7 or 10 different moves he can go to attack that bishop. And you got to play out all, and yeah, then you take that. Yeah, you say, okay, he's probably gonna do that. So if he does that, I'm gonna do this. But if he does that, I'll do this. So you got to have multiple strategies, multiple lines of play in your head when you play in chess because these moves so soon. So it does help you think. Yeah, it does help you think things. So if I do this, and then I can expect that to happen next, and then if that happens, that's probably going to be next. So you can kind of think things through to the end, and that's how people solve problems. So. Right. Well, the whole idea of with chess strategy, there is it helps you thought processes, helps you thinking, in logical thinking, and thinking. Right. If you're building a house, you can think, okay, I got to start with the foundation. Now we got to put the floor joists on. Now we got to put the floor on. Now we got to put the wall. But you can project each step before you even start putting the first step in. You can envision yourself building the cap and putting the cap on the house and moving in. Right. But there's a process to it. Yep. Yeah. But yeah, no, there's a process to it. So you got to follow the process, and playing chess helps you learn the processes, or at least the steps out of a few of the processes. Right. 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 Exactly. Right. Right. Good deal. Good deal. Right. Exactly. Got to be. Right. Yeah. No doubt. Right. No problem. Yep. I love you too, sweetie. Right on. Right. Fun. Fun. Yeah. Yeah. That's gonna be fun. You guys have a good time. Good. Right. Yeah. Yeah. You're gonna have more fun watching his reactions than you're gonna have fun with your reactions. I know it. I see you guys are all the time. Right. Right. Yes, he is. He is a smart kid. Yep. Right. Right. No problem, sweet. Yeah, the smartest thing you can do is just keep yourself, if you're gonna go with a 2 caregiver setup, ensure you keep everything separate so it, it looks like there's no other entrance for anybody but that caregiver. So if you do that and get it set up, then you're pretty square. Right. Exactly. Should be, yeah, yeah. You should be, as long as you keep separate, or and just keep under that 72 count number if you're a patient as well as a caregiver, and keep everything separately. You should be good to go. Watch those eyes and cross those T's, and all we can do is keep pushing forward until we get rid of these stupid ass laws. Because that's the only thing that's gonna make it worse. I mean, we got the recreational law, and they're already pushing. The recreational is already pushing back on the medical and trying to kill it already. Yeah, exactly what I said was gonna happen. Exactly. I mean, within the time frame too. I said within the first 2 years. If they're pushing hard, it'll be within the first 2 years. If they're not pushing hard, it'll be in the first 4. Yep. Yep. Exactly. But unfortunately, yep. Oh yeah, yeah, and the government's making them even more nuts. Yeah, yeah. If you, especially with these crazy fuckers in life. So, all right, sweetie. I love you too. Tell everybody say hi, love, and give Bradley a hug and kiss for me. I love you. Bye bye. My wacky niece. All right.
I'm not even paranoid about weeds like I used to be. Like my social worker said, they can't do anything about me smoking weed. Guess I drink another beer and they realized I drank it because I was rolling all my shit up with the really good intention. So basically, that remote they have Redare will run any kind of crawler.
Pretty much any RC, any surface.
What do you
type.
do to set it up to the brand that it is? Like a setting band?
Right.
I still got the original batteries in my remote for my soundbar, and they didn't even change them once. They work pretty good. We had it for like 2 years.
Fucking shooting.
Been on there 2 hours and 14 minutes, but you're on the phone for 30. They're probably like, this is the boringest show we've ever seen. Man, if I was wearing socks right now, my feet would be fucking sweating.
I think that pretty much does this one. It's pretty much where she needs to be. Does seem to set a little better here.
It's got some pretty good lights on it.
Yeah, they're just the 4 front ones. I got more. I got more lights.
Well, you got 2 in the back too. Don't you?
Yeah, I got more than that. Those things should be. Oh, those are the reverse lights, so those won't come on until I.
Big backup lights.
Yeah, I don't think they come on until I back up. No. Those ones don't back up lights. Those are runners. I gotta get them turned on.
That'd be cool if we put like black lights underneath it. That'd be really cool.
I don't know if it's because of something going on or if it's because the battery's gonna ship and it keeps beeping.
Battery's going bad, probably.
I'm gonna put it on the kitchen table for you, okay?
There's those 2.
Because I don't know.
What's
What's that?
There's 2 going there.
Remember how the thing was beeping? Said they was beeping, and then about 40 minutes later, this thing starts to beep.
All kinds of beeping stuff going on.
It must be a battery dying day.
Yep, must be.
remember your name. Going. Okay, Google. Okay, Google.
Lucky.
Oh, you motherfucking phone, where'd you go? Where did you go? Really? Why aren't you talking, bitch? Why aren't you talking, bitch? What are you talking about, bitch? I told my phone, what are you talking about, bitch? And it was like, I know, it's been of a random conversation. That's pretty funny. Thank you for chatting with me, though. I've enjoyed it. It wasn't me. You caught me backhanded, begging on the bathroom. Let's get this shit rocking. Damn it, get on my face. There we go. Hardcore metal. $6.2. That's all. Why does time have to go so slow today? Car phone, there you go. Oh my God. Sarah, you said you're buying a car today. Living dead girl. No, I don't want no credit card, bitch. Walk away from the hell. No toxicity. Well,
Walked out, left the door shut. It bounced a little bit. It bounced somehow. Said my exit.
excuse me. Holy shit. That was a little sneaky freaking burp right there, man. Are you actually tasting that food or are you just scarfing it down?
I bet you I left that running. They did. But then didn't.
That's why I said they probably heard everything we were talking about.
Oh yeah, no doubt there.